Pipeline Pro was created with the idea of being a complete operating system for production, in such a way that it is not only designed, like its competitors, to provide solutions for production tracking systems, but also to cover the entire life cycle of a project. In this way, we can define a pipeline that originates from a prior forecast within the system, either through loading a template or because the project has equivalent projects completed in the past, which already provide a predefined structure of departments, costs, and tasks designed around asset structures, for example, with estimated timelines. This will generate a large amount of data that can be used by executive producers to carry out project budgeting. In this way, within the governance and project budgeting system, they can perform a detailed analysis of execution times and other factors, meaning that the project lifecycle effectively begins from the moment the project starts being discussed, many months before the project actually starts. Once the project begins to move forward, the system provides tools for recruiting staff for the production company. Through tools such as the recruitment section, job postings can be published so that candidates can apply for positions already aligned with the project's needs. Once these people join the work teams, script-related work can begin. In this way, writers can start working in a centralized environment for script writing, animatic creation, and all related discussion processes. And executive producers can then begin performing asset breakdowns for this forecast and compare them with the initial projection of how many assets were already planned within the budget. As we can see, the system always remains aligned with the project's needs. Once the script phase begins to be approved, or once these assets have been approved for production, we have asset management tools available. At this point, concept tasks begin to appear in order to adapt and refine the assets, allowing pre-production teams to start operating and generating their artistic work, while producers and production coordinators can begin monitoring and managing the tasks associated with these assets. There are parent asset tools that allow us to perform breakdowns of these scripts when managing shots. Once a shot is imported, meaning we create a shot and import it either from a video list or from an EDL, we can begin generating an episodic structure. With this episodic structure, we can generate the full script breakdown and determine which assets are used in which shots. This allows us, for example, to initiate layout tasks as soon as the assets are minimally prepared for that type of work. Automation tasks handled by TDs can start operating immediately. If we know that the pipeline will use certain tasks, for example modeling, we can already have automatic task creation systems in place. This allows modelers to enter the pipeline and publish their work, so it can be connected to subsequent tasks, not only through code, but also through templates, which are Blender scenes used as initialization scenes for the workflow. In this way, the entire pre-production phase runs in an integrated manner. Once the project has fully approved the script phase, we can move directly to the layout phase. In this context, we can take a scene, for example, and within the task tree, we can begin generating layout tasks to start working on it, including work files, uploads, reviews, and related processes. From that point onward, we proceed through the different production tasks. These transitions, or state changes, do not need to be performed manually by a production manager because we have a tool called the logic engine within the pipeline. This allows us to generate automatic transitions from one task to another using conditional rules. For example, if layout has been approved, the system can automatically activate the animation task for a specific artist and copy the necessary files so that the system can immediately begin working. In this way, we automate state changes and allow producers to focus on supervising the workflow management process. At all times, producers can use predefined search engines to locate files pending approval, allowing them to find any pre-production file or required asset through a search system. This can be filtered by episode, department, task status, or even by individual users, giving them full visibility into which tasks exist and what state they are in. In short, the system is highly integrable. Additionally, the system not only manages shot-level tasks, both sequences and episodes can also have their own tasks. In this way, there are sequence-level tasks, such as simulations or FX, that run throughout an entire scene or sequence, generating layers that can later be used as caches by other departments. Similarly, episode-level tasks, such as editorial, allow version control and task assignment for work that does not depend on individual shots or sequences, but instead operates at the episode level, enabling direct interaction with the material. The system can automatically provide episodic exports of material, ensuring that dailies are continuously supplied to other departments. It also allows us to specify which type of task we want to export against an EDL, in this case an OTO file, and whether we want to download material to provision all editing workflows. Once the material is ready, all material control and review processes are handled through the showroom. The showroom is a section where we integrate material for review, whether between supervisors and artists, or between artists, supervisors, and clients, allowing feedback to flow naturally. Within this environment, we can perform all types of annotations directly on the footage through text, comments, arrows, or formal review notes directed to the artist. Once the material has been approved, we can navigate back to the task itself and see that review integrated directly into the task as the implemented correction, ensuring that the workflow remains fully integrated. Notes and comments are stored within the Notes section, and producers can decide whether those comments should be visible to the artist or not.